Welcome back. Ryan here once again, and this time I want to talk about a few minutes and give some mention to those that came first. Um, the what might be called the Native Americans, um, the pre-Columbian inhabitants of the Western Hemisphere, and I I imagine that in chapter one you did some reading uh, about the land bridge, the earliest Americans, and the land bridge to Alaska, the agricultural revolution, and of course you're uh, aware of the advanced societies of the Incas, 6 million people who were farmers and who found ways to irrigate farmland. They paved roads, and they possessed a complex political system. The Incas of South America. Another advanced society, as you're probably aware of, the Mayans, who had their own written language, advanced mathematics, accurate calendar, advanced agriculture, and they had their own set of pyramids, architectural wonders. Um, and of course, another, besides the Mayans, the Aztecs, another advanced civilization, that society that would be found in Mexico. And they too had an elaborate political system, a population of 250,000. Um, Temples equal in the size to the Great Pyramids of Egypt, and you may have heard of the notorious human sacrifices. The Anasazi, the ancient ones, um, irrigation systems again, and their buildings. They would have been found in the southwestern part of the United States, in largely in the desert regions. They grew corn, beans, squash. They were the Pueblo peoples. Uh, Pueblos the size of with 650 rooms, 4 stories high, and these were abandoned by 1150 A.D. And that's a big question mark. What happened to them? The mound builders and were another advanced society located in the Mississippi and the Ohio rivers. Built huge mounds, hundreds of feet long. They flourished from the 1100s to the 1500s A.D. They were city dwellers, and they mysteriously abandoned the region around 1500 A.D. Again, famine, disease, war, environmental decline. The question mark remains with the mound builders as well. I will be talking more in detail about the five-nation Iroquois, the Iroquois Confederacy. I'm going to actually talk about that when we get towards the French and Indian War and the 7 Years' War, the War for Empire after in the 1700s and 1750s and 60s. So let me. I'm trying to keep these videos under 10 minutes. I apologize, but let's turn just a couple of minutes to Columbus himself, and as we have mentioned before, Columbus sails for the Kingdom of Spain, and he was going to plant the flag of Spain on his first voyage. A voyage that, of course, he was right about in one sense. You can go You certainly can go west to go east. To go east meaning to go to China, to go to Asia. But his calculations were not accurate at all. One thing, the Earth is much bigger than he thought, and he didn't know about the massive piece of real estate that he was going to bump into as he crossed the ocean sea, and that is the Western Hemisphere. It wasn't predicted that you would bump into something like that. You would sail west, and you would go to Asia. Well, that didn't happen. Columbus's first voyage, as you know, he lands on exactly October 12th, 1492. He sailed the ocean blue for the first time, and he lands in the Caribbean, Hispaniola, the Bahamas. He returns to Spain, and he has 7 Native Americans in tow. Okay. Not exactly what Isabella and Ferdinand were looking for. They are looking for gold. Come on, Columbus. Cough up the gold. Well, he's given another chance. Columbus is given 3 chances to, and on his second voyage, he now has a fleet of 17 ships as opposed to the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. The 3 ships depicted on the tie that I wore for the introductory videos last week. I'm wearing my flag tie here today, showing the many flags of European nations, much later on, of course, and the United States and Canada and Japan. But I'm wearing it to talk about the colonization of the Western Hemisphere by Europe. And again, let me remind you, sometimes a tie is just a tie. Anyway, Columbus does return to the Western Hemisphere. He returns with those 17 ships. He is looking for riches, and so that he can bring it back to Spain. But Spain is going to be the biggest player in everything, and I'm going to talk about Gold, God, and Glory in just a few minutes. But what I just want to talk about in the end here, what's called the Columbian Exchange, the fact that between the old world, quote unquote, and the new world, much was exchanged with and as a result of Columbus's voyages. The fact that from the old world to the new world, horses, cattle, pigs, sheep, chickens, honeybees, wheat, barley, oats, rice, Asian rice, interestingly enough, onions, lettuce, peaches and pears, watermelon, bananas, olives, and tulips and daisies are exchanged with, along with some deadly disease and pathogens. But the New World exchanged with the old: corn, tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, chocolate, vanilla, tobacco, beans, pumpkins, avocados, pineapples, blueberries, marigolds, peanuts, pecans, and cashews. And just to put a fine point on everything, that exchange also did end up, the number is, well, the fact of the matter is that in the end, 90% of the Native American population declined after the first century of contact, I should say. In the end, because of the Columbian Exchange disease. Smallpox in particular were exchanged, and 90% of the population, Native American population, was wiped out because of Columbus's contacts with the Western Hemisphere and the Native Americans. All right, signing off for now, and next we'll be talking about the Spanish.